First Contact and Deception. The year was 2189, and humanity had just taken its first tentative steps beyond the solar system. The newly christened starship Odyssey, carrying Earth's brightest minds and bravest explorers, had embarked on its maiden voyage to the nearby star system of Alpha Centauri. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the viewscreen as the alien vessel materialized before them. It was massive, easily dwarfing the Odyssey, its sleek silver hull gleaming against the backdrop of unfamiliar stars. "Status report," Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline coursing through her veins. "No weapons signatures detected, Captain," replied Lieutenant Wei, the ship's tactical officer. "But their shields are unlike anything we've ever seen. Our scanners can barely penetrate them." Elena nodded, her mind racing. First contact. The moment humanity had dreamed of for centuries was finally here. "Open a channel," she commanded. The viewscreen flickered, revealing a humanoid figure with iridescent skin and large almond-shaped eyes. "Greetings, humans," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious hum. "I am Ambassador Zix of the Galactic Confederation. We welcome you to the cosmic community." Over the next few hours, Ambassador Zix painted a picture of a vast, peaceful confederation of species spanning the galaxy. They offered humanity membership, promising to share advanced technology and the secrets of faster-than-light travel. It seemed too good to be true. Dr. Aisha Patel, the ship's xenobiologist, couldn't shake a feeling of unease. "Captain," she whispered, "something doesn't add up. That body language, the way they avoid certain questions. I think they're hiding something." Elena trusted Aisha's instincts, but the lure of advanced technology and galactic citizenship was too tempting to ignore. After consulting with Earth's leaders, who were eager to secure humanity's place among the stars, Elena accepted the Confederation's offer. The Odyssey followed the alien ship to a massive space station that served as the Confederation's headquarters. As they docked, Elena couldn't help but marvel at the structure's size and complexity. Alien species of all shapes and sizes bustled about, barely sparing the human delegation a glance. Ambassador Zix led them to a grand chamber where representatives from various species were gathered. "Esteemed members of the Confederation," Zix announced, "I present to you the newest addition to our galactic family, the humans of Earth." A ripple of murmurs swept through the crowd. Elena stepped forward, prepared to deliver a speech of gratitude and cooperation. But before she could speak, a reptilian alien in ornate robes interrupted. "Is this some kind of joke, Zix?" the alien hissed. "These primitives barely have interstellar travel. They can't possibly meet the Confederation's standards." Confusion and anger swept through the human delegation. Elena turned to Zix, demanding an explanation, but the ambassador's friendly demeanor had vanished. "My apologies for the deception, humans," Zix said coldly. "But we needed to assess your capabilities firsthand. You see, the Galactic Confederation is not what you think it is." The chamber's lights dimmed, and a holographic display flickered to life, showing scenes of brutal conquest and subjugation across countless worlds. "We are the dominant force in this galaxy," Zix continued. "Lesser species serve us or perish. Your Earth has resources we desire, and your people will make excellent slaves, or test subjects." Elena's hand instinctively moved to her sidearm, but she knew they were hopelessly outgunned. "We'll never submit," she declared, her voice ringing out clear and defiant. Zix laughed, a chilling sound that sent shivers down Elena's spine. "Oh, but you will. Unless..." The reptilian alien who had spoken earlier stepped forward. "Unless you can prove your worth. Our laws demand that new species be given a chance, no matter how slim, to earn their place." "What are you proposing?" Elena asked, her mind racing to find a way out of this nightmare. "A tournament," the reptilian replied, baring razor-sharp teeth in what might have been a smile. "Your best warriors against champions from across the Confederation. If you win, Earth remains free. If you lose, well, I hope your people don't mind manual labor." Elena looked at her team, scientists, explorers, and diplomats, not warriors. But she saw determination in their eyes, a refusal to give up without a fight. She turned back to the aliens, her jaw set in defiance. "We accept your challenge," Elena declared. "Humanity won't go down without a fight. And trust me, you have no idea what we're capable of when our backs are against the wall." Zix's smug expression faltered for a moment, caught off guard by the human's bravado. "Very well," the ambassador said. "You have 1 Earth month to prepare your champions. When you return, the fate of your species will be decided in the galactic arena." As the human delegation was escorted back to the Odyssey, Elena's mind was already formulating a plan. They had been deceived, backed into a corner, and faced impossible odds. But if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was defying the impossible. "Get me a secure channel to Earth," Elena ordered as they re-entered the ship. "We need to assemble the best team humanity has to offer. Scientists, soldiers, athletes, anyone who can give us an edge." As the Odyssey broke away from the station, setting a course for home, Elena stared out at the stars. The galaxy had revealed itself to be a far more dangerous place than they had ever imagined. But humanity had survived ice ages, plagues, and their own destructive tendencies. They would survive this too. The tournament awaited, and with it, the chance to show the Galactic Confederation why you should never underestimate humans. The Galactic Arena Challenge. The Odyssey's return to Earth was met with a mixture of excitement and dread. As news of the Galactic Confederation's true nature spread, the planet united in a way it never had before. Former rivals put aside their differences, pooling resources and knowledge in preparation for the impending challenge. In a fortified facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Captain Elena Rodriguez stood before an assembly of Earth's finest. The room buzzed with nervous energy as soldiers, scientists, and athletes from every corner of the globe awaited her words. "Ladies and gentlemen," Elena began, her voice echoing in the cavernous space, "in 1 month, we face a trial that will determine the fate of our species. The Galactic Confederation believes us weak, primitive, easy prey. We're going to prove them wrong." Dr. Aisha Patel stepped forward, activating a holographic display. "We've analyzed every scrap of data from our encounter," she explained. "The tournament will likely involve a series of challenges testing various skills: combat, problem-solving, endurance. We need to be prepared for anything." As Aisha spoke, Elena's gaze swept across the assembled group. She saw determination in their eyes, but also fear. They all knew the stakes. "Each of you was chosen for your unique skills and expertise," Elena continued. "Over the next month, we'll push ourselves to the limit, combining our strengths to create a team unlike anything the Confederation has ever seen." The training regimen was brutal. Days blurred into nights as the team honed their bodies and minds. In one corner of the facility, Major Marcus Chen, a decorated Special Forces veteran, drilled the team in combat techniques from across human history, adapting them for potential alien physiology. "Remember," Marcus barked as he demonstrated a takedown move, "we don't know what kind of beings we'll be up against. Stay flexible, adapt quickly, and never underestimate your opponent." In another section, Dr. Zara Okoro, a brilliant physicist and engineer, worked tirelessly with her team to reverse engineer alien technology gleaned from their brief visit to the Confederation station. "If we can crack even a fraction of their tech," Zara mused, her fingers flying over holographic schematics, "it could give us the edge we need." As the days passed, the team began to gel. Unlikely friendships formed, and a sense of camaraderie grew. They were no longer just individuals, they were humanity's last hope. 2 weeks into their training, an unexpected visitor arrived. Lai Wei, a former Olympic gymnast turned parkour expert, had been recruited for his incredible agility and spatial awareness. As he watched the combat drills, an idea struck him. "Major Chen," Lai called out, "what if we combined these fighting techniques with parkour and free running? It could make our movements more unpredictable, especially in varied terrain." Chen's eyes lit up. Brilliant lie. Let's work it into the program. This spirit of innovation and collaboration became the team's hallmark. They didn't just train, they evolved, creating new techniques and strategies that blended disciplines in ways never before imagined. As the deadline approached, Elena felt a glimmer of hope. They were as ready as they could be, but doubt still nagged at her. Would it be enough? The night before their departure, Elena couldn't sleep. She found herself wandering the facility, eventually making her way to the observation deck. To her surprise, she wasn't alone. Dr. Aisha Patel stood by the window, gazing up at the stars. "Trouble sleeping, Captain?" she asked without turning. Elena sighed, moving to stand beside her friend. "How can I sleep when the fate of our entire species rests on our shoulders?" Aisha turned, her dark eyes meeting Elena's. "You know, I've been studying the data from our encounter non-stop. There's something that's been bothering me." "What is it?" Elena asked, intrigued. "The Confederation. They're too confident, too set in their ways. They've been the dominant force for so long that they stopped evolving." Elena pondered this. "And you think that gives us an advantage?" Aisha nodded. "Humans are adaptable. We thrive on challenge. Every time we've faced extinction in our history, we've come back stronger. The Confederation has no idea what they're up against." A slow smile spread across Elena's face. "You're right. We're not just fighting for survival, we're fighting for our right to exist, to explore, to grow. The Confederation thinks they're the apex predators of the galaxy, but they've never encountered anything like us." As dawn broke, casting the first rays of sunlight across the facility, the team assembled one last time on Earth. Elena stood before them, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. "Today, we embark on the most important mission humanity has ever undertaken," she declared. "We carry with us the hopes and dreams of every person on this planet. But remember this, we are not just fighting for ourselves. We fight for every species that has been subjugated by the Confederation, for every civilization that has been deemed unworthy. Today, we show the galaxy what it truly means to be human." A cheer went up from the assembled team, a roar of defiance that seemed to shake the very mountains around them. As they boarded the Odyssey, upgraded with every scrap of technology and insight they could muster, Elena felt a surge of pride. Whatever challenges awaited them in the galactic arena, she knew one thing for certain: humanity would not go quietly into the night. The Odyssey lifted off, leaving Earth behind and hurtling towards their date with destiny. The Galactic Confederation thought they were dealing with primitive beings, barely worth their notice. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. Preparing for battle, the Odyssey cut through the vast expanse of space, its enhanced engines humming with power. Inside, the atmosphere was tense but focused. Earth's champions used every moment of the journey to refine their skills and strategies. In the ship's newly constructed holodeck, a marvel of human ingenuity reverse-engineered from alien tech, Major Marcus Chen led a grueling combat simulation. Holographic aliens of various shapes and sizes attacked from all angles, their movements based on the limited data they had gathered from the Confederation. "Remember," Marcus shouted over the chaos, "we're not just fighting as individuals. We're a team. Use each other's strengths." Elena watched as Li Wei, the Parco expert, vaulted over a hulking alien, providing cover for Dr. Zara Okoro to deploy one of her experimental devices. The holographic creature froze, its systems apparently short-circuited. "Nice work," Elena commended. "But let's not rely too heavily on tech. We don't know what kind of countermeasures they might have." In another section of the ship, Dr. Aisha Patel worked tirelessly, analyzing and reanalyzing every scrap of data they had on the Confederation. She had assembled a team of Earth's brightest minds, connected via quantum entanglement communicators back on Earth to assist in real time. "Captain," Aisha called as Elena entered the lab, "I think we found something interesting." Elena leaned over the holographic display, her brow furrowed. "What am I looking at?" "Patterns," as she explained, her eyes alight with excitement. In their language, their technology, even their biology, there's a consistency that suggests that they stopped evolving, Elena finished, remembering their conversation back on Earth. Aisha nodded. Exactly. They've been dominant for so long that they've become stagnant. But that's not all. She pulled up another set of data. We've detected subtle variations in different Confederation species. I think there might be fractures in their alliance, hidden tensions we could potentially exploit. Elena felt a glimmer of hope. Good work, Aisha. Keep digging. Any advantage we can get could make the difference. As she left the lab, Elena's comm unit beeped. It was Zara, calling from engineering. "Captain, you need to see this," the physicist said, her voice tight with urgency. In the engine room, Zara and her team had disassembled one of the alien devices they had managed to smuggle aboard. Its inner workings were spread across a workbench, a maze of unfamiliar components. "We've made a breakthrough," Zara explained, holding up a tiny, glowing crystal. "This is the key to their energy systems. It's unlike anything we've ever seen, but we're starting to understand its principles." Elena's mind raced with the possibilities. Can we replicate it? Zara shook her head. Not yet, but we might be able to disrupt it. I'm working on a device that could temporarily neutralize their energy weapons or shields. Excellent work, Elena said, squeezing Zara's shoulder. This could be a game changer. As the Odyssey neared its destination, Elena called the team together for a final briefing. The ship's mess hall had been converted into a strategy room, its walls covered in displays and data streams. "We're 6 hours out from the Confederation station," Elena began, looking at each member of her team. "I won't lie to you. What we're about to face will push us to our limits and beyond. But I want you all to remember something." She paused, making sure she had everyone's attention. "The Confederation thinks they know what we're capable of. They see us as primitive, weak, easy to conquer. But they don't know humanity. They don't know how we faced extinction a dozen times over and came back stronger every time. They don't know how we thrive on challenge, how we've turned our homeworld from a place that wanted to kill us into a launching pad for the stars." Elena's voice grew stronger, filled with conviction. "We carry with us not just the hopes of Earth, but the legacy of every human who ever looked up at the stars and dreamed. We carry the spirit of every explorer who set sail into the unknown, every scientist who pushed the boundaries of knowledge, every ordinary person who faced adversity and refused to give up." The room was silent, hanging on her every word. "When we enter that arena, we show the Confederation and the entire galaxy what humanity truly is. We are not just fighters or scientists or athletes. We are the species that looked into the abyss of space and said, 'We belong there.' And now we're going to prove it." A cheer went up from the assembled team, a roar of defiance and determination that seemed to make the very ship vibrate. As the team dispersed to make their final preparations, Elena felt a mix of pride and trepidation. They were as ready as they could be, armed with technology, strategy, and an indomitable human spirit. But what awaited them in the galactic arena was still unknown. The Odyssey dropped out of faster-than-light travel, the alien station looming before them. As they approached, Elena stood on the bridge, her team assembled behind her. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. "Confederation Control," Elena transmitted, her voice steady and determined. "This is Captain Elena Rodriguez of Earth. We're here for the tournament, and we're here to win." The massive docking bay doors began to open, inviting them into the heart of the alien station. As the Odyssey maneuvered inside, Elena exchanged glances with her team. The moment they had prepared for was finally here. The battle for Earth's future and humanity's place in the galaxy was about to begin. Surprising allies and hidden strengths. The Odyssey docked with a soft thud, and an eerie silence fell over the ship. As the airlock hissed open, Elena led her team into the alien station, their senses on high alert. They were immediately surrounded by a contingent of Confederation guards, their weapons held at the ready. Ambassador Zix appeared, flanked by representatives from various alien species. The ambassador's smug expression faltered slightly at the sight of the confident human team. "Welcome back, humans," Zix said, unable to completely hide a note of surprise. "I trust you're prepared for the challenges that await you." Elena stepped forward, her posture radiating confidence. "More than you know, Ambassador. We're ready to show the Confederation what humanity is truly capable of." As they were led through the station's winding corridors, the team couldn't help but notice the diverse array of alien species watching them. Some looked on with curiosity, others with disdain, but Elena caught glimpses of something else in a few eyes: hope. They were brought to a vast chamber that seemed to serve as a pre-tournament gathering area. Various alien teams were scattered about, some practicing combat moves, others huddled in discussion. The humans were directed to a corner of the room, isolated from the others. As they settled in, Dr. Aisha Patel noticed a group of small, avian-like aliens watching them intently. "Captain," she whispered, "those creatures over there. Their body language suggests they're trying to communicate with us discreetly." Elena nodded, having noticed the same thing. She casually made her way closer to the alien group, pretending to inspect some equipment. As she did, one of the avian creatures approached, its movements cautious but deliberate. "Humans," it chirped softly, its beak barely moving. "We are the Zephyrians. We admire your defiance. Many here do, though they dare not show it." Elena's eyes widened slightly, but she maintained her composure. "Thank you," she replied quietly. "I take it not everyone is happy with the Confederation's rule." The Zephyrian's feathers ruffled slightly. "The Confederation's dominance has lasted too long. Many species suffer under their yoke, but few dare to challenge them. Your presence here, it gives us hope." Before Elena could respond, a loud announcement echoed through the chamber. "All participants, report to the arena preparation zones. The tournament will commence in one standard rotation." As the teams began to move, the Zephyrian quickly pressed a small device into Elena's hand. "Information," it whispered, "about the challenges the other teams. Use it well, and know that not everyone here is your enemy." Elena discreetly pocketed the device, her mind racing with the implications. As her team regrouped, she saw similar expressions of cautious optimism on their faces. They weren't alone in their stand against the Confederation. In the preparation zone, a sterile, high-tech area, reminiscent of a locker room, the team huddled around as Zara carefully examined the Zephyrian device. "It's a data crystal," she explained, her eyes lighting up with excitement. "And it's compatible with our systems. Give me a few minutes, and I should be able to access its contents." As Zara worked, Major Chen led the team through some final warm-up exercises. "Remember your training," he said sternly. "But more importantly, remember why we're here. We're not just fighting for ourselves, but for everyone back home, and for every species that's been oppressed by the Confederation." Elena nodded, feeling a surge of pride in her team. "Marcus is right, but there's something else." She lowered her voice, ensuring only her team could hear. "We may have allies here. Keep your eyes open for opportunities to cooperate with other species. The Confederation's power seems to be built on keeping everyone divided. Let's show them the power of unity." Zora's excited voice cut through the tension. "I've got it. The crystal contains detailed information about the tournament structure and the other competing teams." The team gathered around as Zora projected a holographic display. "The tournament is divided into 3 main challenges," she explained. "First, a physical combat trial in an environment with shifting gravity. Second, a problem-solving challenge involving alien technology. And finally, a survival test in a simulated harsh environment." Lai Wei, the parkour expert, grinned. "Shifting gravity. That plays right into our strengths." Dr. Pertel was already analyzing the data on the other teams. "Fascinating. Each team seems specialized for their home environments. The Draconians are incredibly strong, but might struggle with rapid gravity changes. The Nebulans are brilliant, but physically weak. We might be the most well-rounded team here. Elena felt a glimmer of hope. Good. We'll use that to our advantage. Zara, any insights on the tech challenge? The physicist nodded eagerly. The alien tech they'll use is similar to what we've been studying. Our adaptability might give us an edge there too. As they continued to strategize, a loud klaxon sounded. A booming voice filled the air. Competitors, prepare to enter the arena. The first challenge begins in 5 minutes. Elena looked at her team, seeing determination and resolve in their eyes. This is it, she said, her voice filled with quiet confidence. Remember your training, trust each other, and never give up. We're here to show the galaxy what humanity can do. As they made their way to the arena entrance, Elena felt a mix of anticipation and defiance. The Confederation thought they were dealing with primitive beings, easy to subjugate. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. The massive doors to the arena began to slide open, revealing a vast, shimmering field of energy. Beyond it, Elena could make out a twisting, ever-changing landscape that would serve as their battleground. For Earth, Elena said quietly, her team echoing the sentiment. With heads held high and hearts steel for the challenge ahead, humanity's champions stepped into the galactic arena, ready to fight for their future among the stars. The tournament begins. The human team stepped into the arena, immediately feeling the disorienting effects of the shifting gravity. The landscape before them was a twisted maze of platforms, obstacles, and terrain that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Alien competitors from various species were already navigating the chaotic environment, some with grace, others clearly struggling. Elena quickly assessed the situation. Lee, take point. Your parkour skills will be crucial here. Zara, keep an eye on the gravity fluctuations. Everyone else, stick to the formations we practiced. As they moved deeper into the arena, the true nature of the challenge became clear. It wasn't just about combat. It was a test of adaptation and teamwork. The gravity shifted unpredictably, turning floors into walls and ceilings into pitfalls. Lai Wei led the way, his movements fluid and precise. He effortlessly bounded from platform to platform, using the changing gravity to his advantage. The rest of the team followed, with Major Chen bringing up the rear, his keen eyes watching for any signs of ambush. Their first encounter came swiftly. A group of reptilian aliens, the Draconians, charged at them from an adjacent platform. In normal gravity, their brute strength would have been overwhelming. But here, in this chaotic environment, it was a liability. Now, Elena shouted. Lai launched himself at the lead Draconian, using the alien's own momentum against it. As the gravity shifted, Li pivoted in midair, redirecting the Draconian into its own teammates. The aliens tumbled off the platform, disqualified from the challenge. Dr. Patel's voice crackled over their comms. Captain, 3 o'clock. Nebulans approaching. Elena turned to see a group of ethereal, almost translucent aliens gliding towards them. The Nebulans' natural ability to alter their density gave them a significant advantage in the shifting gravity. Zara, now's the time to test your device, Elena ordered. The physicist nodded, activating a small gadget on her wrist. A pulse of energy rippled out, momentarily disrupting the local gravity field. The Nebulans, caught off guard, lost their coordination and drifted aimlessly. Major Chen seized the opportunity, leading a precise attack that incapacitated the Nebulans without causing harm. Remember, he grunted, we're not here to hurt anyone unnecessarily. Disable and move on. As they progressed through the arena, Elena noticed something interesting. Other teams were watching them, studying their tactics. Some even seemed to be mimicking their teamwork. They're learning from us, Dr. Patel observed, a note of wonder in her voice. Elena nodded. Good. Let's show them what cooperation can achieve. The next phase of the challenge brought them face to face with the Zephyrians, the avian aliens who had provided them with information. For a moment, both teams hesitated, unsure how to proceed. Elena made a split-second decision. "We don't have to fight," she called out to the Zephyrians. "Why don't we work together to reach the next stage?" The Zephyrian leader, recognizing Elena, chirped in agreement. What followed was a masterclass in interspecies cooperation. The humans' adaptability combined with the Zephyrians' natural affinity for three-dimensional movement allowed both teams to navigate a particularly treacherous section of the arena. As they reached a safe zone, marking the end of the first challenge, Elena noticed the stunned looks on the faces of the Confederation observers. This level of cooperation between species was clearly unexpected. The team regrouped, catching their breath. "Well done, everyone," Elena said, her pride evident. "But this is just the beginning. We've shown them our physical capabilities. Now it's time to show them the power of the human mind." As if on cue, the arena began to transform. The shifting platforms and gravity wells disappeared, replaced by a vast holographic interface filled with alien symbols and technology. Dr. Zara Okoro stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with excitement. "This is where we level the playing field," she said, cracking her knuckles. The second challenge had begun, and with it, the true test of humanity's greatest strength, their ability to innovate and adapt. As the human team dove into the complex alien systems, Elena couldn't help but feel a surge of hope. They had survived the first challenge, but more importantly, they had begun to change the very nature of the competition. The Confederation had expected a brutish display of physical prowess. Instead, they were witnessing the birth of something they had never anticipated: cooperation and mutual respect between species. As Elena watched her team work alongside the Zephyrians and other alien allies, she realized they weren't just fighting for Earth anymore. They were fighting for a new vision of the galaxy, one where strength came not from domination, but from unity. And that, Elena thought with a smile, was a force that even the mighty Confederation might not be able to resist. Turning the tables, the holographic interface of the second challenge sprawled before them, a dizzying array of alien symbols and complex systems. Dr. Zara Okoro took charge, her fingers dancing across the ethereal controls with practiced ease. "It's a multi-layered encryption system," she explained, her voice tight with concentration. "But the underlying principles are similar to what we studied. Team, remember our drills." The human team sprang into action, each member tackling a different aspect of the challenge. Dr. Potel's linguistic skills proved invaluable as she deciphered alien syntax, feeding crucial information to Zara. Lei Wei, surprisingly, showed a knack for pattern recognition, his Parker-honed spatial awareness translating well to the abstract digital landscape. As they worked, Elena noticed other teams struggling. The Draconians, in particular, seemed completely lost. Without thinking, she approached their leader. "We can help you," Elena offered, extending a hand. "There's no reason we all can't succeed here." The Draconian leader, a towering reptilian with iridescent scales, looked at Elena with a mix of suspicion and curiosity. After a moment's hesitation, he nodded. What followed was an unprecedented display of interspecies collaboration. Humans worked alongside Draconians, Zephyrians, and even the ethereal Nebulans, each species bringing their unique perspectives and abilities to bear on the challenge. From her observation platform, Ambassador Zix watched with growing unease. This was not how the tournament was supposed to unfold. The humans were changing the very nature of the competition. As the challenge neared its end, a jubilant cheer went up from the gathered teams. They had done it. Not just solved the encryption, but improved upon it, creating a more efficient system in the process. Elena stood at the center of it all, a smile playing on her lips as she watched former adversaries congratulate each other. She caught Ambassador Zix's eye and saw the flicker of fear there. The Confederation's carefully constructed hierarchy was beginning to crumble. But there was no time to celebrate. The final challenge loomed, the survival test. The arena shifted once more, transforming into a harsh alien landscape. Toxic mists swirled around jagged rock formations, while strange, predatory creatures lurked in the shadows. The air itself seemed to crackle with malevolent energy. "Remember your training," Major Chen barked as the team donned their environmental suits. "Stay together, watch each other's backs, and don't take unnecessary risks." As they ventured into the hostile terrain, Elena was acutely aware of the other teams following their lead. The cooperation from the previous challenge had created an unspoken alliance. The first obstacle came in the form of a massive chasm, too wide to jump and filled with swerving caustic gases. Elena's mind raced, recalling the data they had studied on alien environments. "Zara," she called, "can you recalibrate our shields to neutralize that gas?" The physicist nodded, her fingers flying over her wrist computer. "Done, but it'll only last a few minutes." Elena turned to the gathered alien teams. "We'll create a bridge, but we need to move fast. Everyone form a line." What followed was a daring feat of teamwork. Humans linked arms with Draconians, creating a living bridge across the chasm. Zephyrians flew back and forth, ferrying smaller species across. The Nebulons used their ability to alter their density to anchor the makeshift bridge against the harsh winds. As the last team member crossed, Elena felt a surge of pride. They weren't just surviving, they were thriving through cooperation. The final stretch of the challenge brought them face to face with the arena's apex predator, a monstrous, chameleonic creature that seemed to meld with the very landscape. It lashed out with tentacles of crystalline energy, scattering the teams. In the chaos, Elena saw an opportunity. "Everyone listen," she shouted above the din. "It's not invincible. Its attacks follow a pattern. If we work together, we can predict and counter them." What followed was a breathtaking display of interspecies coordination. Humans provided strategy, Draconians offered strength, Zephyrians aerial support, and Nebulans defense. Even the creature's chameleonic abilities were countered by the combined sensory skills of multiple species. As the beast finally fell, subdued but unharmed, a profound silence fell over the arena. Competitors looked at each other, then at the fallen creature, the realization dawning that they had accomplished something unprecedented. Elena stepped forward, addressing not just her team, but all the gathered species. "Look at what we've achieved together," she said, her voice carrying across the now silent arena. "This is the true strength of sentient beings, not domination, but cooperation. We are stronger together than we ever could be apart." As if to punctuate her words, the harsh landscape of the arena shimmered and faded, revealing the familiar confines of the Confederation station. On the observation deck, the Council of Elders watched in stunned silence. Ambassador Zix stepped forward, his usual smugness replaced by a look of genuine awe. This was not the outcome we expected," he admitted. Elena met his gaze squarely. "No, it wasn't. But perhaps it's the outcome the galaxy needed. We came here to fight for humanity's place among the stars. But in doing so, we've shown that there's a better way forward for all species." The Elder Council conferred among themselves, their glowing eyes darting between the gathered competitors. Finally, the lead elder spoke, his voice resonating through the chamber. "Humans of Earth, you have not only survived our trials but have transformed them. You have shown us a vision of the galaxy we had forgotten was possible. We hereby grant Earth and humanity full membership in the Galactic Confederation, not as subjects, but as equals and innovators." A cheer went up from the gathered species, a sound of joy and hope that seemed to make the very station vibrate. As Elena looked around at the faces of her team and their new alien allies, she knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had not just earned its place among the stars, it had sparked a revolution that would reshape the very fabric of galactic society. The future, bright with the promise of cooperation and shared discovery, stretched out before them like an endless cosmic ocean, waiting to be explored. A new era for humanity. The journey back to Earth aboard the Odyssey was filled with a mixture of exhaustion, elation, and anticipation. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, gazing out at the star-filled expanse, her mind still processing the monumental events of the past few days. Dr. Aisha Patel approached, a datapad in hand. "Captain, you might want to see this," she said, her voice tinged with excitement. "We're receiving transmissions from across the galaxy. Word of what happened at the tournament is spreading fast." Elena took the pad, her eyes widening as she scrolled through the messages. Species from every corner of the Confederation were reaching out, expressing admiration, gratitude, and hope. The human victory had become a catalyst for change throughout the galaxy. "It's more than we could have ever imagined," Elena murmured, a smile playing on her lips. As the Odyssey entered Earth's solar system, the crew was met with an astonishing sight. A vast array of ships from various alien species filled the space around their home planet, all there to welcome humanity into the galactic community. The landing on Earth was nothing short of historic. Crowds gathered in every major city, their eyes turned skyward as the Odyssey and its alien escort descended through the atmosphere. In a field outside the United Earth capital, a massive stage had been erected for the occasion. As Elena and her team stepped off the ship, they were greeted by thunderous applause from humans and aliens alike. Earth's leaders stood side by side with representatives from countless alien species, a visual testament to the new era of cooperation. President Xiang Lin of the United Earth government stepped forward, embracing Elena. "Captain Rodriguez," she said, her voice carrying across the assembled crowd, "you and your team have not only secured humanity's future among the stars, but have changed the very nature of galactic politics. We stand here today at the dawn of a new age." Elena took the podium, looking out at the sea of faces, human and alien, united in hope and possibility. "When we left Earth," she began, "we thought we were fighting for humanity's survival. What we discovered is that our greatest strength lies not in our ability to fight, but in our ability to bring people together." She gestured to her team and the alien allies who had accompanied them back to Earth. "We faced trials designed to pit us against one another, but instead, we chose cooperation. We showed the galaxy that diversity is not a weakness to be conquered, but a strength to be celebrated." As Elena spoke, holographic displays around the stage showed scenes from the tournament, humans working alongside Draconians, Zephyrians soaring with Nebulon partners, a tapestry of cooperation that had never before been seen in the galaxy. "Today," Elena continued, her voice strong with conviction, "we don't just join the galactic community. We help to reshape it. The Confederation has agreed to reforms to create a more equitable and cooperative governing body. And Earth will play a central role in this new galactic order." The crowd erupted in cheers, a sound of joy that seemed to reach to the very stars themselves. In the days and weeks that followed, Earth became a hub of galactic activity. Alien technologies were shared freely, accelerating human development in ways once thought impossible. Human innovations, particularly in the realms of adaptation and creative problem-solving, were eagerly sought after by species across the galaxy. Universities opened their doors to alien students, while human scholars ventured to distant worlds to learn and teach. The exchange of knowledge and culture flourished, bringing about a renaissance that touched every corner of the galaxy. 1 month after the tournament, Elena found herself back on the Odyssey, this time as part of a joint human-alien expedition to explore uncharted regions of space. As the ship prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, she looked around the bridge at her diverse crew, humans working seamlessly alongside beings from a dozen different worlds. Dr. Patel, now the ship's chief science officer, approached with a smile. "It's hard to believe how much has changed in such a short time," she mused. Elena nodded, her gaze turning to the star field on the main view screen. "We thought we were fighting for our place in the galaxy," she replied. "Instead, we found our true purpose, to be a force for unity and progress." As the Odyssey leaped into the unknown, Elena felt a sense of limitless possibility. Humanity had not just found its place among the stars, it had helped to forge a new destiny for all sentient beings. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, and now, united in purpose and spirit, they would explore it together. The story of humanity's great challenge had become legend, a tale told on countless worlds, but Elena knew it was just the beginning. The true adventure, the forging of a more cooperative, enlightened galactic civilization, was only just beginning. As the Odyssey ventured into uncharted space, Elena couldn't help but smile. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that together, humans and aliens alike, they would face them with courage, creativity, and an unshakable spirit of unity. The stars beckoned, and humanity, no longer alone, answered their call.